Here's a question for you. If you stopped improving today, how long would it take for your services to become outdated? The honest answer is probably not very long. That's why continual improvement exists. It's the mechanism that keeps the entire ITIL framework alive and relevant. Welcome to Chapter 13. In this chapter, you'll learn why continual improvement is both a component of the ITIL value system and a management practice. You'll walk through the 7-step improvement model in detail. You'll see how the improvement register keeps good ideas from slipping through the cracks. And you'll understand how metrics fuel the whole cycle. Let's start with mindset, continual improvement as a mindset. Before we look at the model, you need to understand something important. Continual improvement is more than a process. It's a mindset. Organizations that excel at this share some common traits. Everyone, from the boardroom to the front line, looks for opportunities to improve. Improvement isn't a separate project. It's woven into daily work. Failures get treated as learning opportunities, not reasons for punishment. Data and evidence drive decisions, not assumptions or politics. And small, frequent improvements are valued alongside large transformation programs. The guiding principle, progress iteratively with feedback, is the engine here. Small changes, tested and validated, compound over time into significant results. The Continual Improvement Model, ITIL 5, provides a structured 7-step model for driving improvement. The steps form a cycle you can apply to any scope, from a single process to an entire organization. Let's walk through each one. Step 1. What is the vision? Every improvement starts with understanding the strategic direction. What is the organization trying to achieve? What are its goals, values, and priorities? This step ensures your improvement efforts align with business strategy. An improvement that doesn't support the vision is, at best, a distraction and, at worst, a waste of resources. Ask yourself, what is the mission? What are the business objectives for this area? How does this improvement contribute to the overall vision? Step 2. Where are we now? Before you can improve, you need an honest, data-driven assessment of where things stand today. That means gathering baseline measurements, assessing current capabilities and maturity, understanding stakeholder perceptions, and identifying existing strengths and weaknesses. This step connects directly to the guiding principle: start where you are. Don't skip it. Assumptions about the current state are often wrong, and plans built on wrong assumptions will fail. Here's an exam alert for you. The continual improvement model is heavily tested. You need to identify which step a scenario describes. For example, if a team collected performance metrics to establish a baseline, that's step 2. Step 3, where do we want to be? This step defines the target state, what improved actually looks like. Targets should be specific, measurable, and aligned with the vision from step 1. You'll set measurable improvement targets, define success criteria and key performance indicators, establish priorities, and create a gap analysis. A gap analysis is simply the difference between where you are and where you want to be. Step 4. How do we get there? This step creates the improvement plan, the specific actions needed to move from current state to target state. You'll identify and evaluate options, select the best approach, create a detailed action plan with timelines and responsibilities, assess risks, and determine how you'll test and validate. This is where the principle, keep it simple and practical, really matters. Choose the simplest approach that'll achieve the target. Don't over-engineer it. Step 5. Take action. This step executes the plan. You're implementing the changes, managing the human side through organizational change management, communicating progress, adjusting based on early results, and documenting what you've done and learned. This step embodies progress iteratively with feedback. Break large improvements into smaller increments. Test them, refine them. Step 6. Did we get there? This step evaluates whether the improvement hit its targets. You compare actual results against the targets you defined in Step 3. You measure against your KPIs, analyze whether expected benefits were achieved, identify gaps between expected and actual, understand why things succeeded or fell short, and document lessons learned. Step 7. How do we keep the momentum going? This final step ensures improvements are sustained. It's not enough to make a one-time change. The improvement has to get embedded into the organization's culture and ways of working. You'll embed the improvement into standard processes, share successes and lessons across the organization, identify new opportunities triggered by this one, update the improvement register, and celebrate achievements to reinforce the culture. This step feeds back into step 1, creating a continuous cycle. Here's a real-world connection to anchor this. A team notices incident resolution times have increased. That's step 2. They set a target to reduce average resolution time by 25% within 3 months. That's step 3. They plan to implement knowledge article templates and an AI-assisted triage system. That's step 4. They deploy the changes iteratively over 6 weeks. That's step 5. After 3 months, they measure a 30% reduction. That's step 6. They standardize the new approach and share their methodology with other teams. That's step 7. The Improvement Register. The Improvement Register is a database or structured document used to track and manage improvement ideas from any source. It captures the idea and its source, the current status, whether proposed, approved, in progress, or completed, the expected benefits and priority, the resources required, the timeline, and the results once implemented. The register ensures good ideas aren't lost and improvements get prioritized based on value and feasibility. It's a living document, regularly reviewed and updated. Where do ideas come from? Anywhere. Incident and problem analysis, service reviews and customer feedback, employee suggestions, benchmarking, audit findings, technology advances, process assessments, value stream mapping to find waste and bottlenecks. Continual improvement. Across the value system, continual improvement isn't confined to services. It applies to the value chain, asking whether activities are efficient and effective. It applies to management practices, asking whether they deliver expected results. It applies to governance, to the 4 dimensions, to the guiding principles themselves, and to value streams. Every component of the ITIL value system is subject to continual improvement. The model can be applied at any scope and any level. Improvement and metrics. Metrics are essential. Without measurement, you can't establish baselines, set targets, or evaluate results. Effective improvement metrics are aligned with objectives, actionable, balanced across multiple perspectives, timely and accurate. Avoid metrics that look impressive but don't inform action. A dashboard with 50 green indicators is meaningless if none of them connect to business outcomes. Here's a common trap. Don't confuse measurement with improvement. Collecting data is necessary but not sufficient. Data must be analyzed, insights generated, and action taken. An organization that measures everything but improves nothing is just wasting effort. Let's bring it together. Continual improvement is both a value system component and a management practice. The 7-step model runs from vision to where are we now, to where do we want to be, to how do we get there, to take action, to did we get there, to how do we keep the momentum going. The improvement register tracks and prioritizes ideas from all sources. Continual improvement applies to everything: services, practices, governance, dimensions, and value streams. Metrics are essential but must be aligned with objectives and actionable. And most of all, improvement is a mindset, not just a process. 3 quick questions. Pause after each one and take a shot before I give you the answer. Question 1. A team has collected current performance data and identified that their average incident resolution time is 4 hours. Which step of the continual improvement model does this represent? The answer is step 2. Where are we now? Collecting current performance data to establish a baseline is exactly what step 2 is about. Step 1 focuses on strategic direction, not current metrics. Step 3 defines the target state. And step 5 is about executing the plan. Question 2. What is the purpose of the improvement register? The answer is to track and prioritize improvement opportunities. The register captures and prioritizes ideas from all sources across the organization. Incident records belong to incident management. Configuration item data lives in the CMDB under service configuration management. And service level agreements fall under service level management. Question 3. Which step of the continual improvement model ensures that improvements are sustained and embedded into the organization? The answer is Step 7. How do we keep the momentum going? Step 7 focuses on embedding improvements into standard ways of working, sharing lessons learned, and maintaining momentum. Step 4 just creates the plan. Step 5 executes it. And Step 6 evaluates whether targets were met, but doesn't address embedding the change. That's continual improvement. Now take what you've learned and find one small thing to improve this week. That's how the cycle really begins.